Good morning, and I'll tell you what, it is a good morning for this lifelong Cubs fan right here. I'm a very happy but tired person this morning. My name is Madeleine. I'm the Associate City Editor here at the Columbia Tribune. Welcome to today's Daily Digest. With me is Aarik to talk about a little bit about what to expect in after hours, so I'll let you go ahead before I gloat a little bit more.
Sure, yeah, in after hours today, I talked to the Brooklyn band Yesayer. If you wanted to kind of look up indie rock in the dictionary over the last 10 years or so, they might be, their picture might be right there. Band that shape-shifted a lot over the course of its career, but definitely has a real loyal following, and they're at the Blue Note tomorrow night, so talk to one of the band members. And then also James Owen, our film writer, looks at two movies that are coming out at Ragtag Cinema this weekend. One is Certain Women, has Michelle Williams, Kristen Stewart, Laura Dern. It's kind of one of those films that kind of ties together different vignettes in a small town. And the other is The Handmaiden, which is kind of an interesting look at culture, World War II, kind of pre-World War II Japanese Korean culture in context of a very deceptive, mysterious, kind of shady thing that's going on in a royal court. So two films, very different films, but kind of gives you an idea of how those films will kind of shape what's at the theater this weekend.
It's definitely very interesting.
Yeah.
You mentioned the band Yesayers
Yeah.
have kind of shape-shifted. What do you mean by that?
Well, they're a band that definitely, and that's kind of the focus of the interview, was that they don't really want to be doing the same thing twice. I mean, most bands say that, but these guys have really followed through with that. Definitely willing to do different things in the recording process, try out different sounds. They just work really hard to not repeat themselves, and that's a big part of who they are.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aarik.
Yeah.
So as pretty much everybody knows, the Cubs won the World Series last night, ending 108 torturous years of drought. So I'm very happy. I'm a lifelong Cubs fan, and living in Cardinals territory makes this a little bit extra sweet for me. But moving on, what to expect in today's paper, we have a lot of stuff going on. We'll be looking a little bit more at the newly named president of the University of Missouri system, looking into details of his contract and what his salary is going to be. So expect more details on that. Also, long awaited, the Scott Boulevard is finally going to reopen Friday. So we'll have a story on that, as well as a map looking at kind of where that is, and I'm sure most Columbia residents are very familiar with it. We also have a story looking at zoning. There was another planning and zoning meeting last night, and Jody Jackson, our reporter, has endured hours and hours of these meetings at this point. Last night they got into a little bit more minutia, and they actually set a schedule hoping to wrap this up by the first week of January. So hopefully, they can stick to that. We'll also be looking at a story. There are 35 new polling locations in Boone County. And so where you voted in the August primary might not be where you're going to be voting next week. So very important. Make sure to check that out and see where you need to vote next week, because it's a very important election. Look for that and more in this afternoon's newspaper. You can always contact us online. We want to hear your thoughts. Look for our pages on Facebook, on Twitter, visit our website, send us an email, give us a call, whatever you need to do. Thanks so much.